Caribbean resorts are expensive. On most islands, even the cheap ones start at around $400 a night, but not these islands. You're about to see oceanfront hotels for around $200, charming resorts for under $250, and one all-inclusive that looks great for just $136 a night. These are the Caribbean islands that are way cheaper than you think. I'm Roger from PriceOfTravel.com. Let's get started. Down in the southern Caribbean, Aruba has become one of the most expensive beach destinations in the region, and yes, it's beautiful, but its neighbor Curaçao gives you almost the same climate, even better variety, and often at half the price. Flights can also be surprisingly cheap, so this one stands out as a genuine bargain, at least for now. What makes Curaçao so special is the mix. Colorful Dutch architecture, a real lived-in capital, small hidden coves with incredible snorkeling, and beaches that feel more local and low-key than the huge resort strips on other islands. It's exotic, friendly, easy, and way more affordable than most travelers expect. My favorite deal here is Elements Hotel and Shops. It has a great rooftop pool, a short walk to the beach, and it's right in the heart of the city, so you're steps away from restaurants and cafes. Rooms in high season start at about $177 or $204 for an ocean view room, and the 9.0 review score pretty much tells the story. For a stylish, modern base on one of the most underrated islands in the Caribbean, this is outstanding value. If Punta Cana is the gold standard for Caribbean all-inclusive resorts, and honestly it is, then Puerto Plata is the old-school sibling that still has some unbelievable bargains hiding in plain sight. Punta Cana's good resorts usually start at around $300 a night for two people in high season, which is still great value, but then I found this place. When I was researching my recent video on the absolute cheapest Caribbean options, I stumbled onto a resort in Puerto Plata that honestly stopped me in my tracks. Playabachata Resort. It's beachfront, it looks surprisingly nice, the reviews are totally respectable, and it's $136 per night for two people, all taxes included, for a full all-inclusive stay. That price is almost impossible to match anywhere else in the Caribbean, especially for a resort that actually looks good in photos and has decent guest feedback. Now, Puerto Plata itself isn't the flashy modern master-planned experience you get in Punta Cana. It's more of an old-school beach resort area, but it's still easy to reach, the beaches are pleasant, and if you didn't think you could afford a Caribbean vacation at all this year, a deal like this is a million times better than staying home and shoveling snow. And by the way, I'll link to this resort in the description along with that other video where I found several more surprisingly good deals just like it. Barbados is one of those islands that sounds expensive, and if you've heard of the Platinum Coast, that reputation makes sense. The whole stretch of sand is lined with luxury resorts, celebrity villas, and high-end shopping. It's gorgeous, but definitely not cheap. But only a bit south of there, everything changes. You still get the turquoise water, the sunsets, and the classic Barbados vibe, but instead of ultra-luxury hotels, you've got small beachfront properties, family-run guest houses, and prices that are literally a fraction of what you'll see up on the Platinum Coast. This area is lively, walkable, social, and one of the best value beach zones anywhere in the Caribbean. A perfect example is the Rostrevor Hotel, right on the sand. High season rooms start around $188 per night, and the reviews are excellent at 8.6 from over 1,000 guests. It's a small 50-room hotel with a beautiful pool, ocean views from many rooms, and a real Barbados atmosphere that big chain resorts just don't offer. If you've always assumed that Barbados was out of reach, this part of the island proves the opposite. It's one of the best value surprises in the Caribbean. Grenada is one of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean, and yet it's still way cheaper than most people expect. You don't see the giant chain resorts here, you don't see the mega developments, and honestly that's part of the charm. It feels natural, tropical, and almost untouched in places, which is why so many travelers fall in love with it. You might assume an island this gorgeous would be priced like St. Bart's or Anguilla, but it isn't. Grenada has stayed surprisingly affordable, especially for smaller beachfront hotels and boutique resorts. One great example is Secret Harbour Boutique Hotel in Marina, where high season rooms start around $236 a night, which is incredible for what you get. Huge rooms, most close to 600 square feet, a stunning hillside pool overlooking the water, and a quiet setting that still puts you a short walk from the beach. The reviews are excellent, a full 9.0 average, and the whole place has that relaxed, tropical, hidden gem vibe that Grenada is known for. If you want a Caribbean island that's truly beautiful, genuinely peaceful, and still far cheaper than the famous luxury islands, Grenada deserves a spot on your short list. St. Kitts is one of those Caribbean islands that quietly blows people away. It looks like one of the expensive ones, lush green hills, dramatic coastlines, old sugar plantations, and beaches that feel calm and uncrowded, but the prices are nowhere near what you'd expect from a place this beautiful. It gets far fewer tourists than the big-name islands, which is part of the charm. You get that upscale, relaxed vibe without the premium price tag. What makes St. Kitts so appealing is the atmosphere. Instead of big city energy or packed beach strips, the island feels spacious, peaceful, and almost gently old world. There's great food, calm beaches, friendly locals, and enough sightseeing to fill a long weekend. From Brimstone Hill Fortress to the scenic drive down the southeast peninsula, but nothing ever feels hectic. It's one of the easiest Caribbean islands to settle into, and it instantly feels like you're on a proper vacation. And here's where the way cheaper than you think part really hits. Hotels on St. Kitts can be a fantastic value. You can stay in a resort-style property right next to the big Marriott complex on Frigate Bay for less than half of what the famous islands charge, and without giving up comfort, scenery, or convenience. This is the kind of value most people don't expect from an island that looks this high-end. That's exactly why I recommend the Royal St. Kitts Hotel, which often starts at around $156 per night in high season, an incredible rate for an island like this. The rooms are large and modern, as even the entry-level studios are around 500 square feet. The property is peaceful and beautifully maintained, and you're a short walk from restaurants, bars, and one of the nicest beaches on the island. And with a 9.0 review average, it's not just cheap, it's genuinely excellent. St. Kitts may be quiet and under the radar, but for travelers who want a refined, relaxing Caribbean trip without budget shock, it's one of the best surprises in the region. San Juan is one of my favorite Caribbean cities. The beaches, the food, the culture, but none of that comes cheap, and honestly, it shouldn't. It's a major destination. But here's the secret most travelers never discover. Once you leave the San Juan metro area, Puerto Rico gets dramatically more affordable, without giving up the scenery or the Caribbean charm. One of the best examples is Rincón, all the way out on the island's west coast. It's famous for sunsets, surf beaches, a relaxed vibe, and a crowd that's a lot more adventurous than the big resort zones near San Juan. And here's the shocker, the beachfront hotels out here can be way cheaper than you'd ever expect for Puerto Rico. The standout is Villa Cafresi, which somehow runs around $202 a night in high season and yet holds a 9.8 review score from over 1,000 guests. I've checked tens of thousands of hotels over the years, and I've never seen a score that high with that many reviews. It's right on the beach, it has a gorgeous pool, 120 rooms, and this wonderful old-school Caribbean feel that you just don't get in the big resort districts. Honestly, it looks so good that I'm planning to stay here myself on my next Puerto Rico trip, so who knows, maybe I'll see you there. If you love the idea of Puerto Rico but want the price tag of a laid-back beach town, Rincón is easily one of the best value surprises in the Caribbean. Last up, we have Aruba's other neighbor, Bonaire, and in a lot of ways, it's the biggest surprise on this entire list. While Aruba has become one of the Caribbean's most expensive beach destinations, Bonaire stays calm, uncrowded, and far more affordable, especially for what you get. This island is legendary among divers and snorkelers. The reefs are close to the shore, the water is crystal clear, and the whole place feels built for people who want nature, relaxation, and incredible underwater scenery rather than big tourist zones or nightlife. Bonaire doesn't have many large hotels or international chains, but that actually works in your favor. The properties that are here tend to be unique, friendly, and excellent value. And one of the standouts is the Chigogo Dive and Beach Resort Bonaire. Rooms in high season usually start around $242 per night, and it delivers far more than the price suggests. A beachfront location, a huge resort-style pool, free cabanas, and somehow even a lazy river. The whole property feels like a polished boutique resort, and with a 9.4 review average, guests clearly love it. Bonaire isn't for everyone. It's slow-paced, quiet, and centered on the water, but if you're into diving, snorkeling, or just want a peaceful, affordable island that still feels special, this one might end up being your new favorite. Those are the Caribbean islands that are way cheaper than most people realize. Places where oceanfront rooms, boutique resorts, and even all-inclusive stays can cost half of what you'd expect on the more famous islands. If you want all of this in one place, I've also put together a full article on priceoftravel.com with every hotel I mentioned, current prices, and extra notes to help you decide which one actually fits your travel style. The link is in the description. If you want a deeper dive into the region and you're curious which of the truly cheap Caribbean destinations are still worth visiting, check out my recent video where I break down 7 of the best budget islands and what you actually get for your money. It's a great next step if you're planning a value-focused trip. All the hotel links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, and if this helped, a quick like really does help the channel. And of course, feel free to subscribe for more smart, practical Caribbean travel videos every week. See you in the next one.